Hey, everybody. Wow, thanks for hopping on here. Sorry about that. Somebody jacked up my system. How's everybody doing? Wow, what about this weather, huh, y'all? It's crazy or what? Um, it is rainy and dreary here in Louisiana, and my friend who lives up in Missouri is getting all kinds of yucky weather too, and sometimes that just trickles down to us. So hopefully, hopefully we're not going to have any severe flooding like we did previously because that would not be good. So, I'm also having weird internet issues, man. I've been trying to work on this dang router all morning. It is incredibly stressful. Can you see me? It is dark. It's dark outside, but can you see me? Okay, I know that I usually sit in front of this window with natural lighting, and it's just, it's dark. Hey, Bev. Hey, Trish. Thanks for jumping on, y'all. Okay, so let's talk about teenagers. So the blog series that I have been working on recently is close to my heart because, as many of you know, I have two teenagers, and they are very, very special people, as I'm sure your teenagers are to you. So, you know, these are the common things that I notice when raising teenagers and talking to other parents of teenagers and things that they've come in contact with or observed with their own kids or just heard about in social circles. And so let's talk about bullying. Bullying. Okay, so when when I was in high school, bullying was mean girl stuff, people talking bad about you. I remember one time we had PE class, and in PE, Coach Sinabaldi had somebody come and do our makeup. It was like a Mary Kay consultant or somebody, and just kind of came and gave us some basic tips. And I remember um, somehow I got to be picked to do that. And I remember the upperclassmen, I had a lot of upperclassmen in that class, and them talent saying, oh, yeah, you need to pick her because she really needs a lot of help. And that, that kind of stung, but it's not a big deal, really. I mean, I'm the kind of person that usually brushes those kind of things off, which is how Phoebe is most of the time. And Chloe kind of is too, but I think Chloe internalizes some things. So they're different in that. So it was a lot of verbal stuff, a lot of mean girl kind of stuff. For boys, I think there was a lot of physical, like teasing and pushing and, fights, physical fights. But today, bullying can go, and we didn't have the prevalence of the internet and social media as much as they do now. And it's sometimes almost like a whole different world that they are growing up in because teenagers, they have tunnel vision. So they only think in that moment. So when they're in that moment, a lot of times they're very emotional and they're very passionate about things. And they may say or do something or put a picture out there that they're not thinking about those consequences further down the road. So as you all know, and especially if you're parents, you should know that anything that goes on the internet, y'all, it cannot go away. I don't care if they think they're in love with their boyfriend and they're sending him a picture and it's risque, in front of the mirror, nudies or whatever they call them. I call them nudies. Phoebe says they're not nudies, they nudes. But it never gets away. And once those high school people start doing stuff like that, it really gets out, it gets blasted. And I will tell you for a fact that if your kid is on Snapchat, you need to police it, okay? My kids are on Snapchat. I think I'm trying to do my best to have it very well controlled. But there are things that you need to know, and I may do a completely different blog series just about Snapchat, because if you don't know what Snapchat is, it's an app where you can send like little video clips or pictures and they disappear. So And people can send your kids video pictures or videos and they will disappear. They can also change the person's name. So if they're talking to let's say they're talking to Sally at school, but it's not Sally at school, it's really Joe who works, down the street at the bar. So they can change that. They can do groups. It's a lot of different things that you really, really want to be aware of. Yes, Beverly, it's super, super important. Um, and they disappear, so you may not be aware. Also, there are bullying accounts. There are bullying accounts on Snapchat. Um, yeah, Tina. Tina says she's asking me to do a blog about it because she's not familiar with it, and there's already problems in 8th grade. Yes, there are problems with it. It's kind of a fun app, so that's where the kids are. They love it because they have cute little filters. They can dress up like little doggies or whatever, and it's super cute, and it can be fun. It just needs to be, it needs to be policed. It really does, because it can be dangerous. Because sometimes they think, there's that whole thing about predators too. It may not be who they're saying they are. You just have to really, really educate your kids on that, and make sure that they are aware of what's going on, and that you're aware of who they're talking to and what they're doing. But I'm going to go back to bullying accounts on Snapchat. This is prevalent, and if you have a teenager, you need to go talk to them about it. And they probably will lie to you. But they will blast people out on this specific account. They ask people to send pictures in. And it's nude pictures. It's flashing their boobs. It might be drug related. It's something you probably do not want your kid either following that account, or somebody may submit your kid. Maybe your kid did something stupid at a party one time and people got it on video. They can turn that in and put that they are exposed on that. So it's scary. To me, it's very, very scary to raise girls. I'm sure those of you who have boys, have a different perspective than I do, but for girls, when Chloe and Phoebe were in middle school, I had a very, very open and detailed discussion with them about alcohol and about rape and about parties. Do y'all remember that Steubenville rape case where the guys on the football team abused that girl at a party? Does anybody remember that? So if you can relate to any of this, hit me up with some likes so I can know that this is something that you are finding value in. I don't know if you remember that, but anyway, the gist of the story was the girl, went to a party with her friends and she started drinking. And how many of us, when we were teenagers, we went to parties all the time and there was alcohol there. We'd go to the parties and drink, and I don't remember people getting raped. But this is what happened to that little girl, and she went to the party. I don't know if somebody put something in her drink or she just had too much. But the message that I've gotten across to my girls, and when I repeatedly, they cried by the time we ended up having this discussion, because I was I was real straightforward with them. And I said, this is what they did to this girl. And this is how they touched her. And she thought she was with her friends. So number one, don't put yourself in that situation, because when you're not in control of your body, when you have alcohol on board, you're not in control of your body, or you have less control. And when you're not in control of your body, somebody else is in control or can take control over your body. So that has always really scared me about raising girls, and the vulnerabilities of that situation. So I have always spoken, I know this is a touchy subject, I've always spoken very blatantly with them about those kind of things. So make sure you have those discussions with your kids. Yes, it's very hard. Yes, it's awkward, but they need to know. Also, I'm just that's kind of a hard topic to talk about. So, that is a form of bullying. So not only did I tell them about the dangers of being in that situation, but I better never find out that one of my kids saw something like these people were watching this happen to that girl and nobody did anything. And if I find out that one of my kids watched something like that happen or didn't help somebody that needed help, I'm going to, like, I'm a choker myself. And I know that's a serious topic and I'm kind of half joking about it, but bullying can go so many different ways. Social media, Facebook, text, passing pictures around, passing text around. So-and-so looks goofy. I had a good friend whose child was beaten like a dog at school not that long ago, because this other girl didn't like her. And the other girl had kind of a record just because she didn't like her. So, we might have had a little bit. I went to a real small school. I guess we were sheltered. I don't know. That was a long time ago. But I feel like kids these days, it's not just the bullying that we were aware of. It's bullying on these different levels, parties, socially, one of the ways to make sure that your kids can handle these kind of situations is to have that excellent line of communication. And I talked about this in a previous series in this blog, the blog series that I'm doing. Make sure that you communicate with your kids. Make sure that you have done everything that you possibly can and continue to do. Just because they become teenagers and they're more independent doesn't mean you can just let them go do whatever, because they are not finished and your job is not finished. And I've said it before, teenagers, I feel like they need so much more guidance than toddlers, because they're in that awkward stage where they want that independence, but they still need their parents, and they need you to still help guide them and to be there unconditionally, whether they make a mistake or they are concerned or they don't know what to do with their lives or whatever, but they need you to be that unconditional place where they can go to and have that great communication. I'm not saying they're always going to tell you the truth, because they're probably not, but they know if you have that foundation and that self-esteem built, they're going to know who they are deep down. They're going to know that they are the person that you raised them to be. And that's going to help them overcome these situations in life. So I just feel like, I don't know, now I'm a parent. Maybe I was just oblivious as a teenager, but as a parent, it is a scary place, and just be aware of what is going on out there and how these things can happen, and make sure you're educating and having really open discussions with your kids about this. Definitely a very touchy topic. So as always, thank you all for jumping in on here with me today in your busy day, rainy day, yucky day. If you found value in this, please give me some likes. I appreciate that. And you can check out the blog later. I'm going to post it. It's kind of chaotic around here because of the babies. It's kind of chaotic, and I will post it later. But if you want to read it and you don't see the post, I'm going to post it on the bottom of this video when I get it fully completed. Go to CoachAdrienne.com and you can check out all of my other videos and all of my other blogs about teenagers, raising teenagers, and this sensitive subject on bullying in today's society. If there's anything that I didn't cover, feel free to send me a private message about it. I know this is sensitive. Maybe you have a child that's going through something. It could be about there's another thing I'm going to go into, but it's a different blog about body image, bullying, about physical appearance. Chloe's real fair, and she is very, very dark hair. So she got teased so much about being hairy, to the point that she didn't want to wear short sleeves. She was self-conscious about it. Anyway, I'm going to post the blog. Thank you all for jumping on. I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, please feel free to share. I'm going to post it. I hope that it saves sometimes. It doesn't save. My video from Monday didn't save, so I'm going to try really hard to see if I can make this one save so that if you missed it, you can go back and watch again. Did anybody hear that Facebook changed the rules? Are you on here? Did you hear that? If you did, put it in the comments. That'll help me out and kind of figure out a game plan, because I'm trying to give y'all as some seriously valuable information, things that I know that have helped me, and I hope that you can relate. So have a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you so much for popping on. Look forward to that blog that I'm going to post later, and thank you so much always for jumping on and checking out what I have to say. Bye.